Okay, y'all, happy May. We are really starting to get going in here. So this is May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm gonna show you around the hoop. We've got some beautiful lettuce growing in here alongside some clover. I really want to point out how amazing these snap peas. They are just, wow. They're almost as tall as I am. And there's so many of them, and they are camouflaged. So you really got to get in there and get them. I'm hoping that these are garlic right here. I'm hoping that these will have some garlic scapes in the next couple weeks so that we can use them for our farm to table. Some new parsley is coming because this guy that overwintered is already starting to bolt. So you want to be just replanting that if you want a bit. Let's see what's going on over here. I just pulled a ton of our turnips. They started to flower, so they're not going to put work into the roots anymore, and that just frees up some area here for these Brussels to get going, and then I'm going to put more cover crops. We've got a couple of peppers in here and eggplants that I've got in the ground. Onions. This kale is starting to do better now. It was pretty small at first. Wherever you see a pole is where we've got a tomato. That just helps me so that I can make sure to stay on top of them and pruning them. There's some beautiful cabbage, Buscaro cabbage, that is starting to kind of come. This guy's starting to close up a little bit. I don't think they're as big as they were last year, but hey, it's still early. Got some nice looking peppers down here with some starting flowers. Things that are doing really good are really in the back area. So I want to make a note of that. That back area, I don't know if it's just a different nutrient dense or the things that I planted there are really just taking off. The Mizuna has really done a great job this year. I've let this bunch here kind of come to flower. Mizuna, if it's a new green for you, is part of the mustard family. It is wonderful where it is a little bit milder from versus like a turnip greens or from like a mustard green, but it's really nice. Goes good with a miso mustard dressing. Some tomatoes down here alongside. I just don't know if they're going to get going. These are a whole bunch of you can see there are a whole bunch, I think, of some Brussels and some cauliflowers, some kohlrabis down here that are still growing nice. I'll show you some of the beautiful purple ones in the back. We have plenty of dill growing alongside our tomato plants. I think actually the dill is a really great plant partner for tomatoes. So it is kind of keeping, see, this one is like, it's not touched by one single bug. I think the dill has done a really nice job of that. And got some purple cabbage growing over here, starting to get bigger, which is great. Some other nice plant partners with these tomatoes, just some small lettuce, parsley. On this side over here, it's kind of fun. We've got our some of our chard, which is really coming alive. Tomatillo plant here. And then look at this, our broccoli. Our broccoli is coming. So last year, around May 12th, we harvested our first broccoli head. Just for reference, that's about the size of my palm. So it is growing. We've got heads on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. And those have that copper pole there, that paramagnetism or the electroculture. So perhaps it's working. All of the napas are starting to close. I'll show you. See how they're starting to slowly, they've really gotten eaten by the bugs. But this one, how it's nice and it's starting to head. It's starting to get nice and tight and closing in on itself, which is great. It means it's almost ready for harvest. Same with this guy. This is our dino kale row, and we just harvested 2 or 3 huge handfuls, and we still have that much. It's coming fast and furious here. The cauliflower inside there, I don't know if we'll get it or if it's too hot in here this year. I can't even kind of get in at it. I don't see it coming, so I will be very surprised if we get it. Let's see. Are you in there, Mr. Cauliflower? It's like going on a scavenger hunt here. I don't think we're gonna get it, friends. But I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I give up on them. Look at over here. Mr. Kohlrabi is doing so nice. So we're waiting to harvest them alongside some of the fennel. This guy's getting real big for our farm to table. The pak choi is starting to flower, so I actually grabbed a couple to take home today that were not flowering yet. Some beautiful purple kale and more of those purple kohlrabi in there alongside the Napa cabbage. I think my favorite thing that I have grown this early spring are these beautiful purple broccoli flowers. This guy actually is so heavy that he fell down, so I might just take him out because we have an abundance. But look at all of these beautiful flowers. You eat these. This is what you eat, and it is so sweet and so delicious. Got some really beautiful lettuce down here. Take one of those home as well. We just gotta eat it though. That's the tricky part, making sure you can get all these greens in, right? Tons of greens. And over here, this back here, our beets are really taking off along with our two big tomatillo plants. I wanted to show you a tomatillo flower. I think they're so cool. Tomatillo plants, as you can see, they're starting, and they will start to slowly crawl out. And they get real nice and sturdy. These are all beet greens down here, and they're starting to slowly produce. That's so exciting. So I'm hoping by the time we have our farm to table, we'll have enough beets, but who's to say? Some lettuce in there. Our squash is back here. Oh, look at this, is fun. It's our first little squashes on there. That is so cool. Awesome. Some more pretty purple lettuce. Our fava beans are back here. Wow. Everything is really taking off in these back beds, which is something to note. So, all right. It's a good picture of what's growing right now. More dill, lots of dill. Some Romanesco. These are Romanescos. Let me see if I can show you one. I did see one the other day. Inside here, we've got still some baby spinach. I do like this plant partner, something tall so that it doesn't allow your spinach to go to seed, to bolt. Let's see if I can find a little baby Romanesco for you in here. There she is. Can you see her down there? Tiny, tiny. And that just kind of supports they lock it in tight so no bugs can get to it. Some turnips growing along here. And that's it, folks. That is an 8-minute, I know it's a little bit longer, an 8-minute hoop house tour. Happy May to you. I'll come back and see you in June.